mga pangunahing balita sa loob at labas ng bansa. Hinagit at hinalap ng Agila News Team. Agila Balita!
Narito ang mga balita. Lingap sa mamamayan, mainit na tinanggap ng mga taga Temple Hills, Maryland. At tumulong din sa mga komunidad ng Bogota, Colombia. Toronto, nagdiwang na ika-185 kaarawan. Reaksyon ng mga estudyante at mga magulang sa college admission scandal dito sa Estados Unidos. At fans ng soccer, sulit na sulit ang pananabik sa laban ng LA Galaxy at ng Minnesota United. Magandang araw. Ako si Ellen Aguilar at ito ang Agila Balita, Washington, D.C.
Agila Balita!
Sa Maryland, ayon sa mga taga Temple Hills, nagbigay pag-asa sa kanila ang isinagawang lingap sa mamamayan doon ng mga miyembro ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Narito si Agila reporter Ace Ramirez para sa mga detalye.
Sa wakas, lumabas din ang araw dito sa Maryland. Perfect na pumasyal at mag-enjoy outdoors. Ngunit ibang klaseng sunshine ang dulot ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa mga residente ng Temple Hills.
Today we're having our International Aid to Humanity, which is happening worldwide. Today we are distributing some care packages that would help them with their everyday needs. And not only that, one of the other things we strive to do is to introduce the church to them and to share our values as members of the Church of Christ.
Actually, this is one of our first events that we had with the church and having an outreach with people coming in and getting free items. This is something first that I ever seen being here. I believe it's a good look on the community. It's helped bring people in and let people know, it's good things that's going on. You could get free items, you'll learn about God. I think it's pretty good. I like it.
It makes me feel good because it's a lot of people here and we all fighting for all this. I'm tired of the killings. I'm tired of them being depressed all the time. When the government shut down, we lost a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of stuff. But coming to these events, bring your spirit back up. It help you. They willing to help us, to teach us. And it's a wonderful thing. I don't feel depressed. I don't feel hardship. I feel love.
I would say this helps to bring together communities. It's too much right now. It's a lot of divide in communities. There's a lot of disconnect between just the church and the community. A lot of times, churches, they're inside their building. They don't reach back out. So it's good to have events like this where you actually reach people in the community and actually reach back. So.
People come in, they know that they can get food or clothing or love or education about God and Jesus Christ and the world. And then we have a mixture of different races here. It's just a wonderful thing.
We want them to realize that there are people still in these times that are still ready and willing to do good to their fellow men and not asking anything in return. It is just our values as Christians to extend any kind of help possible to our fellow men.
Sa panahon ngayon, ang simpleng tulong mula sa kapwa ay matibay na paalala na ang pag-ibig sa isa't isa ay buhay pa rin. Mula rito sa Hillcrest Heights Community Center, Para sa Agila Balita, ako si Ace Ramirez, 1 with 25.
Salamat sa iyo, Ace. Balitang lingap sa mamamayan pa rin. Ipinahayag ng mga taga-Bogota sa Colombia kung paano nilang ikinatuwa ang pagtulong sa kanila ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa panahon na ngayon ng kaguluhan at kahirapan. Janica Era Peralta para sa report.
Ayon sa ulat ng Ahensya ng Statistics na Departamento Administratibo Nacional de Estadistica o DANE, kahit na patuloy na bumababa ang antas ng kahirapan sa Colombia, ang sa kabisera ng Bogota ay tumataas kada taon sa loob ng 3 taon na. Bilang tugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga naninirahan dito, spiritual man, emosyonal o material, nagsasagawa ang Iglesia ni Cristo sa bahaging ito ng mundo ng pamamahayag at ng lingap sa mamamayan. Dumating ang mga tao mula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Bogota tulad ng Sabosa, Hayjuelos, Salitre, Portal Tonal, Los Martires de Santa Fe, ilang oras bago pa ang aktibidad dahil sa pagkasabik sa magaganap sa araw na iyon. Nagsimula ang aktibidad sa pagtuturo ng mga salita ng Diyos na pinangunahan ni kapatid na Edwin Peralta. Ayon kay Amparo Velasquez, isang bisita, nagustuhan niya ang mga itinuturo at ikinatuwa niya ang pagtulong ng Iglesia sa mga tao rito. Inalala ng isang bisita na isa ring migrante mula sa Venezuela kung paano kahirap sa kanilang bansa at nagpapasalamat siya sa pag-alalay ng Iglesia sa mga tao rito sa Bogota. Ipinamahagi sa dose-dose ng pamilya ang mga bags na puno ng groceries at pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan. Ang pagtulong sa kapwa sa panahon ngayon ng tagutom, kaguluhan at pagkakabahabahagi ng mga bansa ay isang indikasyon kung paano mapapabuti kahit kaunti ang kalagayan ng ating mga komunidad. Nag-uulat mula rito sa Bogota, Colombia, ako si Janica Peralta para sa Agila Balita, 1 with 25.
Salamat, Janica. Sa ating pagbabalik, Toronto nagdiwang ng ika-185 karawan. At abangan natin ang reaksyon ng mga estudyante at mga magulang hinggil sa college admission scandal dito sa Estados Unidos. Huwag kayong alis, magbabalik ang Agila Balita, Washington, D.C.
Agila Balita.
Agila Balita, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 8 ng umaga.
Agila Balita.
Kayo ay nanonood pa rin ng Agila Balita, Washington, D.C. Ako si Ellen Aguilar. Sa Canada, kamakailan ay pinagdiwang ng Toronto ang ika-185 karawan nito. Samahan natin si Patricia Caday para sa mga kaganapan doon. Patricia?
6 ang naging bansag ng karamihan sa Toronto. Ang lungsod na ito ay 185 taong gulang na ngayon. Nitong nakaraang linggo, ang mga taga rito ay nagtungo sa Nathan Phillips Square upang ipagdiwang ang karawan ng lungsod ayon sa kanilang nakahiligan. Iba't ibang pagkain, shopping, mga tiyangge at mga palabas. Ang Celebrate Toronto Festival ay nagtatampok ng 30 lokal na tindahan, 12 food trucks at mga palabas sa buong araw.
Celebrate Toronto, it's a non-profit organization. Celebrate Toronto was started by Michaela Doria, who's the founder, and she started the organization to celebrate Toronto's birthday. So Toronto turned 185 this year.
May mga paligsahan, interactive activities, at mga papremyo mula sa mga lokal na estasyon at iba pang mga kumpanya. Makikita rin dito ang mga local artists, entertainers at businesses na naglalapit sa mga taga-Toronto.
Toronto is my home. I mean, I've traveled through Europe and across the world, and there's no place like home. It's like wherever I go, my heart beats to you.
Sa taong ito, nag-umpisa ang koleksyon ng mga donasyong pagkain sa Daily Bread Food Bank upang tulungan ang mga nangangailangan. 185 taon na ang nakakaraan mula sa Legislative Act. Ang lungsod ng Toronto ay nabukod sa bayan ng York. Mula noon, ang lungsod ay lumaki at sinakop na rin nito ang mga karatig bayan.
I hope to see a lot of my generation contribute to the betterment of the city because it's a great city.
Kasaysayan, sining, musika, pagkain at iba't ibang kulturang bumubuo sa lungsod ang ipinagdiriwang dito ngayon. Maligayang kaarawan, Toronto. Para sa Agila Balita, ako si Patricia Caday, 1 with 25.
Salamat, Patricia. Balik tayo sa Estados Unidos. Isang iskandalo ukol sa pagtanggap ng mga estudyante sa mga pangunahin at kinikilalang kolehiyo at unibersidad ang pumutok kamakailan lamang na sinasabing kinasasangkutan ng mga sikat na artista, coaches at opisyales ng mga paaralan. Ayon sa U.S. Attorney ng District of Massachusetts na si Andrew Lelling, ang malaking iskandalong ito ay may kaugnayan sa pagsusumite ng mga peking exam, peking athletic credentials, peking mga litrato at mga binayarang opisyales ng mga kolehiyo. Isang tahasang panlilinlang at pandaraya umano ito sa sistema ng edukasyon. Kinalat ng Agila Balita ang ilan sa mga reaksyon ng ibang mga estudyante at mga magulang dito sa bansa. Panoorin natin.
If the parents are acting unethically, that's not a good tone to set for their children, and I feel like it's very disappointing that these parents think it's okay to use their money and power and prestige to make their kids believe that they can just pay off people to get what they want. In reality, these colleges have spent years and years building up their reputation. A lot of the colleges that these kids want to get into are renowned worldwide, so I don't see how this one incident could diminish the reputation of these colleges irreparably. It's not right that these people think that they could cheat the system even for a second and take away that spot from someone who worked hard and honestly to achieve success.
Personally, I'm not very surprised because, I mean, you've already heard stories of whose parents paid for a library to get them in. So, I mean, it's just a joke in our society that rich people just get the things that they want for their kids, which is not, I don't think it's the right way to do it, but I just think that in society, that's what we expect. I'm shocked personally that we're actually doing something about it, which that was what personally shocked me.
Infuriating and at the same time very disheartening knowing that there's an easy way for parents to actually look at kids into college without actually understanding the hard work that many students have to actually apply for. There are some who will apply naturally, some that who don't actually have to apply, and others who have a very difficult time because either they're residents or non-residents. It's just very disheartening.
Some students actually work very hard and they just come in easy pass. It's not fair. It really isn't. Pretty much as they're saying like, oh, who cares about grades and how much you work at? It's all about the money when it shouldn't be. Since majority of the schools are funded by organizations to promote the schools, and these parents are just coming in giving money without working. It's very unfair.
I believe yes. Yes, because they need to take responsibility, because if we're going to keep allowing this type of behavior and acceptability to continue, we shouldn't. We have to let every student know that everybody's here fairly in order to enroll into a school.
If they're pretty much getting a slap on the back if they're like, oh yeah, only your parents are being accused and you're still going to school. That doesn't set well for many of the students who work very hard trying to get into these schools.
I think like getting into college is already such a competitive field, so the fact that like parents are doing this puts like kids at a bigger disadvantage, especially those who may not be financially like capable of even going to college. So I think like it just puts kids at a harder like position to get into college and makes it unfair. A part of college admissions is some schools claim to be like financially blind, so I think the fact that they're like accepting bribes kind of just diminishes that whole fact, because they are looking at people who have money and are taking that, so I think it does like diminish college's credibility.
So that's unfair for the other kids that don't have parents that can have money to like buy off the people in admissions. So, and it's harder for them to get in.
I find that really unfair, considering there are actually people out there working super hard to get to the specific GPA to get into a specific university, even though they sometimes struggle to even have the money for it.
It's probably like one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard, but it's not so surprising if you look at the way people are treated and like how classist the United States is, and how people with money, with parents who have more money are treated versus those that don't have the access to the same things that people who are affluent do. Yeah, they should be expelled, because it's like, you have no right to be there. It doesn't matter how much money you pay to go to school. You earn your way in like the rest of us. I have friends who had to do so much in order to get to the schools that they went to. Thank God they got them. I have my best friend. She graduated from Duke, and the process to get into that school was difficult. And she doesn't come from an affluent family. Like, it is beyond. They should be expelled. And like, honestly, why are you even, there's different college, people decide to go to the most expensive colleges because it's what's look good on paper. But if you can't get in, go somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with going to a regular institution.
That's very wrong, because coming from an immigrant family, my dad, he was not able to finish college, and he worked so that my mom could finish college. And they both worked very hard to have their kids get into college, finish college. And I mean, I know my parents would do anything for me to get into college. So I mean, I have somewhat understanding for these parents wanting a good future for their kids, but at the same time, that's not the right way to do that, because that in itself is teaching a lesson to your kids that if you want something in life, you can do it in a way where you can cheat yourself into it, which is, I mean, obviously not appropriate.
I think it's truly unfair, because there are many other students just like me that are working so much harder to get our proper education and to do the extra mile to actually apply into college ourselves. Many universities are hard to get into, so knowing the fact that this can happen says something about the many universities out there. So maybe with stricter policies and stricter ways of getting into the university itself, maybe it can help diminish that problem.
We should, sometimes you really like them to be there. And sometimes I guess, to the point that they have to cheat, to the point that they have to buy off in order for their children to be there. I don't think that's right. Because even though they were not caught and their kids are successful, I don't think you can be 100% happy because you're cheated. Because as a parent, you have to set the standard. You have to tell them the right way how to get into the school. You need to work hard. You need to study hard. Because all these kids, there are a lot of kids who are very intellectual that they deserve to be in the school. And for a parent to cheat and you take the spot of their kids is not right.
It's very frustrating to see parents think that they can cheat a system because they have a lot of money, they have a lot of power, and they take advantage of that, and they basically stomp on other people and use Machiavellian techniques to get their children where they want them. And I'm very, very disappointed, and it needs to be stopped. I do believe that the children and the parents were all complicit to the same exact crime, and the parents need to be punished by whatever means that the law deems fit, and the children should be expelled.
Sa aming pagbabalik, karagdagang mga reaksyon ukol sa college admission scandal na sinasabing nagkakahalaga ng milyon-milyong dolyares. Magbabalik ang Agila Balita, Washington, D.C.
Agila Balita!
Agila Balita, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 8 ng umaga.
Agila Balita!
Ito ang Agila Balita, Washington, D.C. Sinasabing may 50 katao ang sangkot sa college admission scandal na tinatayang nagkakahalaga sa milyon-milyong dolyares para lamang maipasok sa mga prestigious universities ang mga anak ng ilang maimpluwensyang tao at sikat sa lipunan. Sinasabing ang mga akusado na umano'y nandaya ay kinabibilangan ng mga artista, opisyalis ng mga malalaking kumpanya, financiers, winemaker at fashion designer ay nandaya para lamang maipasok ang kanilang mga anak sa mga kilalang universidad tulad ng Yale University sa Connecticut, Stanford University sa California, Georgetown University sa Washington, D.C. at sa University of Southern California. Ayon sa report, binayaran nila ng milyon-milyon ang isa umanong charity ni William Rick Singer ng California upang ayusin ang mga eksaminasyon ng kanilang mga anak sa pagpasok sa universidad. Nagbayad din umano ang mga magulang sa ilang school administrators at ilang sports coaches para i-recruit ang mga anak nila kahit na ang mga ito ay wala namang kakayahan sa college sports. Nagpahayag ng pagkadismaya ang ibang mga estudyante at mga magulang at sinabing ninakaw ang pagkakataon ng ibang mga mag-aaral na mas karapat-dapat na makapasok sa mga universidad na nabanggit. Narito ang karagdagan pang mga reaksyon.
Like people who had someone else take their SAT, like there's no way you can't know about that. Or some people had paid people to go take high school classes for them. Like there's no way you can't know about that. So I think they should definitely be expelled because they lied on their application. Like they knowingly lied. Like that's not a small thing. That's like a pretty big deal. So I would think it's justified for them to be expelled.
But just straight up cheating and not pushing them to do their abilities academically, then it's not fair to other students who don't have that financial stability from their parents to be able to put you to school, not just based off your test scores, but just sliding it under the table and paying it to them. That's not fair to all the other students.
I think that takes away from a lot of other people's efforts when they work hard to get to where they're at, and when their parents just buy them in, then it's not really worth it.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but it's still abhorrent. As far as that's concerned, it should be an equal process. You should have an equal opportunity to get in. And yeah, I'm like, if you have assets, though, I guess make use of them, but not in that sense at all.
I do blame the parents, and I think that's I know they want what's best for their child, but at the same time, I feel sorry for the children themselves, just because they may not actually be confident in themselves, knowing that they got in on the merit of their parents paying for them.
Of course, every parent wants the best for their children, but to some extent, it may seem like they're more concerned about status and prestige over, what is ethically moral. In their efforts to give their children a better future, they kind of hurt it at the same time.
I don't think it's right. But I also think there's a lot of injustices in the world, and this is just one of them that we're choosing to focus on. I don't think that what they did is right in any way, shape, or form, but in their defense, I don't think that they understood the gravity of what they were doing. For someone who has so much money to be told, I can pay a small price and more or less guarantee my child's success, I can see the motivation, but again, it is not right.
I feel that it's very corrupt. It just corrupts the entire system, from those who work hard, those parents who labor so hard so that they can have a means to put their children into further education, and also those children who also have to work in addition to what their parents labor for to put themselves into college. And also, it also corrupts the system of the credibility of the admissions of each school. So basically it's saying if you have if the more money you have, the better chances you have to get into college. So does that disregard those people who worked hard studying? Does it disregard those people who are more intelligent than those who have more money than them? So it just kind of makes it's very contradicting, and it really contradicts a lot of the system to get in the process to get into colleges.
Punta naman tayo sa masayang balita. Lubos na ikinatuwa ng soccer fans sa California ang isinagawang laban ng LA Galaxy at Minnesota United. Kinapanayam ni Eva at Allen Basaliahe ang ilan sa kanila. Panoorin natin.
Since '96 is the ongoing slogan of the LA Galaxy. It's a catchy phrase signifying the team's permanency in Major League Soccer since 1996. To celebrate the club's 24th season, the first 10,000 fans to tonight's match will receive a Since '96 scarf.
It's great to wear, and even better as a napkin, in case you get a little pork belly and gravy on your face while grubbing on the LA Galaxy Nacho of the Match. Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome.
He's just joking. Don't use it as a napkin.
For those who don't know, the "you're welcome" remark was me quoting a newspaper ad taken out by the Galaxy's Zlatan Ibrahimovic when he joined the team.
But with the star forward out due to injury, how will LA fare against a newly sacked defense at Minnesota United? Anyway, stack it, Galaxy fans. We're not to be discouraged.
We're all very excited. We came out here to have a great night and see Galaxy take a win tonight.
Second home game of the season, so we're trying to recoup from our loss last weekend. Minnesota's on a hot streak right now, so we're hoping we can defeat them while they're on this hot streak, and I think we can do it.
Well, we're hoping to win LA Galaxy. We're probably going to win 5-0.
Well, we're LA fans, so anything LA we root for. The other teams don't matter. LA's number one.
We came 3 hours down up north, like 3 hours from Lompoc, California.
Oh, yep. Free scarves for big fans. Yeah, so we're excited for today.
A lot of countries come together, and doesn't matter what race, color, or language you speak, we all play the same sport.
Soccer actually in the United States is still growing. It's still like kind of like an under the radar sport, but when you get to these soccer communities, it's actually one of the biggest things you can possibly be a part of. It's definitely a big, gigantic family, and I, would love it to my dying days. So, join the soccer community. It's one of the most welcoming, best communities you can possibly be a part of.
The LA Galaxy looked to push the pace early and often, driving the ball on the visiting team's side for most of the first half. Their aggression resulted in 2 first-half goals, with Jonathan Dos Santos scoring on a penalty kick at minute 36, and Chris Pontius deflecting an on-target pass from Rolf Felcher to make it 2-0 in the 40th minute of play. In the 74th minute, Jan Gregush launches the ball almost 25 yards to record Minnesota's first goal of the contest. But just 6 minutes later, number 18, Oriel Antuna, would deliver the ball out on the wing to a waiting Sebastian Lidget, who taps in the goal, making the score 3-1.
By number 17, Sebastian.
Minnesota would score one last time at the 87th minute mark, but this would prove insufficient for the comeback. The Galaxy edges out the win over Minnesota United, final score of 3-2. Despite giving up a pair of goals, Coach Barro Schelotto was pleased with the win and how his team performed without Ibrahimovic.
Physical for the team was really good. I'm very happy. I'm very happy for the result for the game because we play really good. I don't like give 2 goals, but in the end, I think we play really good today.
Like I said, they outnumbered their midfield and caused a lot of problems for them.
You got Sebastian scored a goal, played without the mask. I guess they started it after what, about a minute?
Yeah, I don't know when he threw it off, but it's a big goal, especially when they get that second goal. So there's a little bit of insurance for us and happy for the kids.
Can you talk about the job Jonathan Santos did today?
Yeah, no, he was fantastic. I mean, honestly, he's such a great player. He was a good leader for us. He's playing that 6 role. And he gets the ball in difficult areas, and he starts the attack for us. And he's got the guts to do it. He's got the skills. And he makes our life easier.
The 2019 regular season just started. So, despite getting the win tonight, LA knows that now is the time to dig in and focus.
No doubt they'll try to carry that focus with them as they get ready to host their next opponent, the Portland Timber.
Reporting from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, this is Evan Allen for Eagle News, and we are 1 with 25.
At yan ang Agila Balita, Washington, D.C. Samahan ninyo kami muli sa susunod na Lunes para sa isa na namang malamang edisyon, puno ng impormasyon mula sa aming mga bureau sa buong mundo. Bisitahin ang aming mga websites, Eaglenews.PH and Eaglenewslive.com. Sundan kami sa Facebook.com/EagleNewsPH at sa Twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Salamat sa panonood at pagsubaybay. Ako si Ellen Aguilar, laging 1 with 25.